Welcome to Home A Roam. I'm Mel.
And I'm Jay. Today we're going to be talking about how to quit your job with style.
That's right. We're going to share with you some tips on how to craft the perfect resignation letter, the timing and the delivery of that letter, and finally, how to manage some of people's responses to your big news.
Hey there, what you working on?
I'm working on my resignation letter. Except I read somewhere, someone called it a letter of departure, or notice of departure, and I thought that was kind of, I don't know, I liked the sound of that, so that's what I'm calling mine. Yeah. How detailed do you think I need to get on this?
Well, you want to keep it fairly simple. It's going to be a legal document, so you're going to be taking it to HR, They're going to be filing it, so you want to make sure that your desired leaving date is there.
Okay.
You can say, it's been a pleasure to work there, stuff like that. You can offer to help with the transition to the new person, but you don't really want to include any personal details or what you're going to be doing next or anything like that. You can leave that for your actual conversation. So just keep the letter itself nice and short and sweet.
Oh, okay. I've got way more detailed than that, so I'll make some changes. Thanks. Hey, hun, what do you think of the timing of all this? I could see this being totally exciting and wanting to just go in and quit on the spot. Obviously, I would never do that. I'm just thinking of our viewers.
Yeah, it's easy to get really excited about something like this and just kind of jump the gun, but you want to make sure to give enough notice. So first of all, schedule an appointment with your boss, then print out your resignation letter, bring it along, and then you can have a nice professional discussion about your upcoming departure.
Sounds like a plan. We are out for dinner at the Keg, coming out to celebrate the day that we have both given in our resignations at work.
Woohoo! And how do you feel?
Well, I still feel a little bit nervous. Not nervous. I would say I do not totally feel a sense of freedom. I feel more just that a bit of a sense of relief that I got through the meeting with my boss. My meeting with my boss was a bit emotional because I kind of felt like I was really letting my boss and that team down. And so that created a lot of kind of stress and anxiety around me having to tell her that I was leaving. So I do feel some relief from that now that that's over. And now it's just the next step of telling the rest of the people in my department.
My meeting went, as well as could be expected. Some disappointment, obviously, but, encouragement for our plan. Definitely seemed very supportive of our new adventure. Well, it's still a ways before, we're actually leaving, so still a lot of work to do, just kind of transitioning all of the stuff at work. Well, we've done it.
We've done it.
Cheers to the new adventure.
And new beginnings. New decade, new adventure, new lifestyle.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. All right, so now let's talk about managing people's responses, because let's be honest, this is not the most conventional way of living, right? So one of the responses that we notice is an expression of envy. And It's really important, though, to keep in mind that there's two types of envy. It's scientifically, it's called benign or malicious. I prefer to call it positive or negative. And I've done not a lot, but I've done some reading about it. I'll include the links to the articles that I found in the video description. Starting first with positive envy. Usually, we found that it's kind of expressed as I'm so jealous, this is so cool, how wonderful. And like you can tell, people are really genuinely excited for you. And it's, they're just saying, oh, that they're so jealous. So typically the way that I tend to kind of respond to that is, I almost downplay it really, but there's nothing really to be jealous of. And I try to point out great things in their life because I don't want them to feel bad and I don't want it to become this weird, awkward conversation. So, I try and keep it light. And then the second type of envy, the negative kind of envy, you'll often kind of see that as a really kind of sarcastic, negative tone, this kind of, well, that must be nice. And talk about awkward, right? It just becomes this really weird, awkward silence. Basically, your perceived success is being viewed as a threat to their own self-evaluation. And they would love nothing more than to see you fail or at least trip going outside the door.
That's some heavy psychological stuff.
Hey, I'm telling you, it's fascinating to me. I love this stuff. So anyways, so a good response to that, or at least something that I think would work, is just to say, we worked really hard to make this a reality for us. We're really excited for the next chapter in our life. Again, keep it light, move on. There's nothing really that you can say that's going to make them happy for you. Yeah.
Yeah, jealousy is just a natural thing. It's a natural feeling that everyone has. Mm-hmm. So another big sort of topic and big question that we've had from people is about money. We're like, well, how can you do that? How can you afford to do that? Yeah. And that's a more complicated question. And we're actually going to have a whole video about finance and frugality. So yeah, stay tuned for that one.
But how would you say that you manage those conversations?
Yeah, I usually don't get into too many details, obviously. But I think the biggest thing is just that we tend to live our lives very frugally and don't live beyond our means.
In fact, we live kind of well below our means, I would say.
That's kind of the key to being able to do something like this is, and you'll see there's a lot of information on the internet about this. There's all sorts of groups. Oh, yeah. It's called FIRE, which means Financial Independence Retire Early. Mm-hmm. Now, we're not actually retiring fully, but we are focusing on the financial independence part of it. Yeah. And the key part of that is, again, to live well below your means and save as much as possible. Mm-hmm. There are some people that manage to save up to like 80% of their income, which to me is crazy. I mean, we obviously didn't do anything near like that. So there's a whole spectrum. Yeah. But definitely save as much as you can and then put it in passive investments. And then those investments can start working for you as you sleep. Mm-hmm. So that's basically the long and short of it. Like I said, we're going to have a whole video about this and get into the nitty-gritty details.
So stay tuned for that. So there you have it. If you haven't already, we'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and keep checking out our videos each week. We release them every Sunday.
Yeah, and if you have any unanswered questions, anything you're wondering about, just drop them in the comments and we will definitely respond.
Yeah, and also if you want to share with us, what worked well, if you were quitting your job, or maybe what didn't work so well, we'd love to hear from you. Please share. It'd be great.
And remember,
when you roam, everywhere is home. Do you have to put it that close to my face? Looking forward to next. Everywhere is home.
And we'll start that again.
Yeah.
together.
No, you're supposed to say "and remember," and then we say together, "When you roam, everywhere is home."
Oh, is that how we do it?
Yes!